The iPhone Air is to a degree exactly what we were expecting. It's Apple's thinnest iPhone ever, measuring in at just 5.64 millimeters. But is it a genuine breakthrough or just a slimmer spin on what we are already familiar with? I've been using the iPhone Air for about a month now, and here's how my experience has been so far. First glance, the iPhone Air might just look like a sleeker iPhone 17, but the differences hit you the moment you pick it up. It's incredibly thin at just 5.64 millimeters and weighs in at 165 grams. Apple calls it its most refined design yet, and honestly, it feels that way. It's built with grade 5 titanium sandwiched between ceramic sealed glass on both sides, and the result is light, balanced, and surprisingly durable. My review unit that I've been testing is this sky blue model. It's softer and more pastel than the MacBook Air color of the same name, and it still turns heads weeks later. The iPhone Air feels great in the hand, not too top heavy, not too bottom heavy, just perfectly balanced. Apple's awe-dropping tagline from the launch event really fits here. This phone looks and feels special. Even though it's so thin, Apple didn't compromise on durability. I accidentally dropped mine once, concrete paving stones, and it came away completely unscathed. Apple says that the Air's frame can withstand up to 130 pounds of pressure and bend slightly before springing back to life. And after that drop, I do believe them. It also carries the same IP68 water and dust resistance rating as the rest of the iPhone 17 lineup. To make the iPhone this thin, Apple removed the SIM slot entirely, so it's eSIM only worldwide. And yes, there's still a regular USB-C port, but Apple actually 3D printed a custom version to make it fit in this frame. Now, let's talk about the screen. The iPhone Air has a 6.5-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display with a resolution of 2376 by 1260 and 460 pixels per inch. It supports ProMotion HDR and peaks at 3000 nits of brightness. It's also just slightly larger than the iPhone 17's display, but that extra bit of space makes apps and videos feel roomier. Text looks crisp, colors are vibrant, and it stays bright even under direct sunlight or bright fluorescent light. The anti-reflective coating here works really well too, and iOS 26 with its liquid glass makeover looks fantastic here. Now, if you lay two of these phones side by side, I think you'd have some idea of what Apple is planning to bring us with its long-rumored folding iPhone. And it would look mightily impressive, but we're not quite there yet. And remember, it's still smaller than the Pro Max. Overall, this is one of Apple's most beautiful phones to date, and arguably the most exciting design since the iPhone 10. Now, here's where Apple had to make some trade-offs to achieve that ultra-thin build. On the back here, there's just one 48-megapixel fusion camera. No telephoto, no ultra-wide. Now, that might sound like a downgrade, but the single lens actually produces sharp, natural-looking photos and is able to capture impressive portraits. It uses the same kind of fusion process as recent iPhones, and that's when it combines 12-megapixel and 48-megapixel shots together to preserve detail and color. In my month of testing, I got some genuinely great results, including one photo from 36,000 feet up where the Air captured fine details of the wing, clouds, and even mountains down below. Low-light shots came out clean and balanced, and portrait mode nailed focus and edge detection with realistic skin tones and depth. Of course, if you're used to having a telephoto or ultra-wide lenses, you'll miss that flexibility here. But the 18-megapixel selfie camera helps make up for it. It's crisp, smart, and it uses center stage to automatically reframe between wide and ultra-wide as people move around. There's also dual capture, which lets you record with both front and rear cameras at once. It's great for concerts, travel, or creators filming reactions. On the performance side, the iPhone Air runs on Apple's A19 Pro chip, which delivers fast, smooth performance across the board. It handles multitasking, gaming, and video editing easily. You might feel some warmth around the camera bump, or plateau as Apple calls it, during fast charging or heavy gaming, but it never throttled or lagged. Benchmarks put it slightly above the standard iPhone 17, and in daily use, it feels just as responsive as any flagship phone. Now, let's talk about battery life. Apple doesn't reveal capacity numbers, but it says the Air can last for up to 27 hours of downloaded video playback and 22 hours of streaming. In my real-world use, it usually lasted a full workday, around 6 to 8 hours of active use, with my best day hitting about 10 hours off the charger. That's decent, but not class-leading. If you need more endurance, Apple does sell a MagSafe battery pack for $99, which adds roughly 65% more battery life and keeps the slim profile. It's optional, but for heavy users, it's a solid companion. Software-wise, the iPhone Air ships with iOS 26, and it feels tailor-made for this hardware. The new liquid glass design looks incredible on the screen. Transparent, layered, and fluid. Messages now support custom backgrounds, polls, and typing indicators, and the new phone app and visual intelligence brings smarter ways to organize calls and recognize content. We're still waiting for Siri's full Apple Intelligence overhaul, but the early features that are here feel smooth and stable. So, should you buy the iPhone Air? If you care about design, comfort, and innovation, this is the one to get. It's not the best iPhone for photography or all-day endurance, but it's absolutely the most exciting and forward-looking iPhone Apple has made in years. It does cost more than the standard iPhone 17, and you are getting fewer cameras and shorter battery life. But what you gain is that stunning new design and a glimpse at where Apple's heading next. Starting at $999 or £999, the iPhone Air comes in sky blue, light gold, cloud white, and space black, with storage options from 256 gigs all the way up to 1 terabyte. And it's available right now, but even more importantly, you can check out the links in the description for the best places and the best prices to buy the iPhone Air. The iPhone Air isn't about adding more, it's about refining what matters, and Apple's thinnest iPhone yet might just be its most elegant.